And we welcome you in live to the Penn State men's basketball postgame show as the Nittany Lions open up Big Ten play tonight at home against Michigan State. The final score, Michigan State 67, Penn State 58. Brian Tripp joined by Jalen Pickett. To start this off, Jalen, after a tough night like tonight, what's the message in the locker room afterwards?
We just got to be more. We got to be tougher. I mean, we're getting big leads, and we just got to be tougher down the stretch. We got to finish better. Credit to Michigan State. They came out and they did what they were supposed to do. Their three players played really well, but at the end of the day, we feel like we made a lot of mistakes ourselves, and we just got to be better each other. We had 3 games. We felt like we had a grip on, so we got to come prepared and come ready to work.
You mentioned the lead. What did you like about your team's start in this game?
I loved it. We started off, pretty well all season. So, we know what we can do when we start good, but we got to maintain that lead when we come out. We love the energy, but we got to bring that energy throughout the whole game, not just for the first 10 minutes of the game.
When you're playing here in front of a packed building with the energy that you guys bring out of the locker room, where does that come from? Where does it start?
I mean, we love seeing the fans out there supporting us. Great job tonight. We hope this wasn't just a one-time thing. We hope they can keep coming out. We're going to get better and better, and we're going to need them every game. So please come keep supporting us.
Tonight for you, 13 points, 17 rebounds, and 8 assists in the game. What were you doing on the glass to be productive to help your team at both ends?
Coach said it was going to be a physical game. Our guys do a great job boxing out, and he likes our guys to come clean up the rebounds. So I'm just going to keep trying to get rebounds and help us play at a faster pace. But as the game goes on, we got to keep that up.
What can you learn from a night like tonight? You guys have been so good shooting the basketball this year. What can you learn when the shots aren't falling?
They were falling early, but we were in transition. We were playing fast. We were getting open looks, and that's how basketball goes. But shots aren't falling. I mean, that can't dictate our defense. We still have to guard. We have to stay with it the whole game, and I mean that's just something we got to learn, something we got to grow and mature in.
And as you mentioned, it's a tough physical game, and I know you give a lot of credit to your opponent, Michigan State. What are some of the things that they did to slow you down and make life difficult tonight?
When we felt like we were having a lead, we were guarding well, and that was allowing us to get in transition. When we're not playing well and people are throwing the ball down low, it's slowing us down because they're scoring the ball. Now we got to keep taking it out and play against a half-court defense as 5-on-5. We want to play with advantages and off closeouts and with less numbers. So I mean, credit to them. We'll be better.
You mentioned that after this game, what the message was. Where does that come from? Does it come from the coaching staff? How much also comes from the leadership after a game like tonight?
Coach Shrews already was telling us. He was telling us during the game. He does a great job. He told us before the game a week ago what type of game it was going to be, and that's going to come from everybody, from top to bottom. Me, Seth, Miles, Fong. The captain's got to let people know what the Big Ten games are like, and he's got to relay down to the freshmen. We're going to play a lot more in practice. We're going to get a lot more physical, so we can be ready to go during when Big Ten play comes around.
And the important thing after a game like this is you put it behind you, and there's many more opportunities to go. It's just the first one this year. That's the message, I'm sure, as well.
No, we need to play better. We've already had 2 games like this. This is not an excuse. We're dropping games that we should win. So we're going to watch this film. We're going to get better at it, and it shouldn't happen again.
I know your team appreciates that leadership and that honesty.
Yes,
Good
sir.
luck next time out. Appreciate it. Jalen Pickett with us here post-game as Penn State falls to Michigan State by a 67-58 final score tonight. We'll go through some of the numbers here. As I said, Pickett with 13 points on 5 of 14 shooting. He had 17 rebounds, 16 of those on the defensive side, and 8 assists, pacing the way for Penn State. Offensively, Seth Lundy with 16 points here in the game, 5 of 11 shooting. Lundy with 4 rebounds for Penn State as they fall to Michigan State 67-58, the final score here tonight. This is our first live post-game show of the year. We'll have this throughout the year here with exclusive access to the student athletes, and we'll also hear from Coach Shrewsbury at his press conference coming up after the game as well. So we will have all that exclusive access right here on Penn State men's basketball social media channels. And we'll also have coverage throughout the year, pregame and postgame, as Penn State opens Big Ten play, falling to Michigan State by a final score of 67-58 tonight. Diving into those numbers a little bit more in the game, Penn State shoots at 34.5%, 19 of 55 from the field. Three-pointers, Penn State 8 for 27, just 1 for 9 in the second half, as we talked about with Jalen moments ago. Shots weren't falling for them, and then Penn State did find a way to get to the free throw line, but just went 12 for 18 from the field there. As Jalen said, the emphasis is going to be on learning from this game and improving immediately, that they're not happy with their effort tonight, and it's something that they can improve on. I know Tom Izzo was just talking in his press conference moments ago about the different things that Penn State can do to challenge teams with the different lineups, very complimentary of what is a tough, physical, and a very talented Penn State team this year, but they fall here in the Big Ten opener to Michigan State by a 67-58 final score. Penn State will be back in action to get right back at it on Saturday at noon at a very good Illinois team to continue Big Ten play before non-conference play continues to wrap up December before heading into January. So as we said, we'll hear from both coaches at their press conferences. And in fact, let's jump in right now and listen to Tom Izzo, the head coach of Michigan State, as he's speaking with the media.
The other night, and if this team gets to be that way where we're all on the same page together, there'll be less confrontation and more of those kind of moments because they're trying to do what we want them to do, and we're listening to them. They had some great suggestions on some things in some of those huddles, so I'm proud of them too. You know what? I was really proud of Malik Hall because he came into two of those huddles and said some things, and that's why he's going to be so valuable to get back. He's a very intelligent player.
Coach, you guys held Penn State, who's first coming into the night, first in the country in 3 points per game, to 29.6% from beyond the arc. What went into that, defensive preparation for Penn State beyond the arc?
Yeah, we tried not to double with any of our wings onto Pickett, and we did a little bit with our big, and we tried to let AJ just handle him. But like I said, we deserve some credit because we did a good job. But they missed a couple of really good shots, if I was to be honest about it. But they're not supposed to make them all, even though they're one of the best in the country. And they missed a couple good ones. And I thought we did a decent job of staying home most of the time. Hard to do. They get a lot of movement in their offense. And I'm like I said, I'm going to be a big fan now for 3 months because I don't have to play them again until the Big Ten tournament.
Tom, Pickett means so much to this team, and you must have made a decision at one point or another that you could guard him pretty much straight up with Hogarth without doubling. Did you even consider the other, or were you pretty confident that he's big enough and strong enough to handle him?
No, I'm not confident in anything right now. I've been reeling myself, but we did try to double a little bit with our center. That's why they got some of those dumped in. They fumbled a couple of them. Those would have been layups. But if we doubled with anybody outside, we knew those shooters were getting those inside-out kickouts because Pickett is very good. But, hey, don't put anything past Lundy either. He's really improved, I think, and I'm impressed with the freshman center. I thought the guy that didn't get as many shots was Funk, and I don't know if we did a good job or he self-checked, because we've had a couple guys do that before. So because I've seen him make some shots that are unbelievable. So that was the game plan with AJ. He's strong enough, but Pickett's a load. He's a good player, but that's not a one-person team. He just does a good job going to certain offenses under certain circumstances, like at the end when he went with that small ball. That was a panic for us. We knew it was coming, and we went small. And that's where I'm really proud of Hauser. I thought AJ did a great job defensively. I think he is one of the better defense. But Hauser's defense was much improved tonight.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Players outside our locker room. Thanks, Nick.
I can't believe after all these years.
Michigan State head coach Tom Izzo addressing the media. We'll have Penn State head coach Micah Shrewsbury coming up, as well as Jalen Pickett and Seth Lundy after the game as the final score. Michigan State 67, Penn State 58 in a tough physical Big Ten game for Penn State's Big Ten and Big Ten home opener tonight here at the Bryce Jordan Center. We continue live with our live coverage on the Penn State men's basketball postgame show. And now we return to the podium as Penn State's Seth Lundy and Jalen Pickett have made their way in.
This is for either of you guys. It seemed like you struggled a little bit offensively tonight. What were they doing that made things difficult for you? I think that's a season low from deep tonight too.
Well, we shot 27 of them from three. We felt like we were getting some good looks. We didn't get the 10 turnovers where we want to be under 10 every game. So I mean, they had a good defensive possession, but I think we just need to keep, getting in the gym. And, sometimes when shots don't fall, we still got to guard. We can't let our offense dictate our defense.
Did you feel like it bled into it tonight where the offense did dictate the defense?
Yeah, definitely. I felt like when we were making shots at the beginning, we were guarding better. We had more energy. And then, as we started coming back and we didn't start making shots, we felt like the energy kind of shifted.
You talk about that energy shifting. Can you talk about how the effect of the crowd tonight? You guys made a big push to get a lot of fans in tonight. Can you talk about the effect of the student section, just the crowd?
Yeah, they were great tonight. It was packed. We came out with a lot of energy because they were there. We just hope they keep coming out. It was just one game, and we're going to bounce back. We're going to get better, so we hope people keep coming out.
Jalen, there aren't a lot of guards who can deal with you physically in the paint. How do you think they did with respect to that? Because it looked like they made you throw maybe more passes than, not you usually do, but maybe didn't take quite as many shots down there. Can you just address that, please?
Oh, yeah, they did a great job, on the smaller guy, Walker. They came with a double team on some of the guards. Hogarth did a good job also, but we got great shots. And, sometimes I caught it down there and I kicked one of the miles. I probably should have shot it, but, I trust my guys. I see them all putting in work every day and shooting it, so we just got to watch the tape and get better.
What are some of the challenges of getting Funk going from game to game? It just seems like it's a little bit of a roller coaster for him right now.
I'll say for Funk, it's just, I feel like a lot of teams just do a good job scouting him. They know that coming into games that he's probably the best shooter, one of the best shooters on our team, and they just want to take that away. They know that we're a three-point shooting team. They feel like they take him away, they got a good chance of beating us and taking away his post-ups and stuff. So I feel like a lot of teams is doing a good job with that. So, but Funk's gonna be Funk though. He gonna hit shots down the stretch and stuff like that. And he stay in the gym all the time, 24/7. He stay in the gym. So we trust in him, and we gonna keep finding him though.
Yeah, I feel like that's my fault too a little bit. Funk's such a great shooter. I know people are gonna be connected to him, so I gotta find him earlier. Try and get him going a little bit, get his confidence rolling on those shots. So I'll be better at that.
Seth, coming out of the half, you hit that step back three, and it looked like Micah had his arms spread as if to say, what was his message to you at halftime, and what was his reaction about there?
He had no message to me at halftime. He was telling me in the first half though to be aggressive. A lot of times I turned down a lot of shots though, and he was saying just be aggressive. You just looking to dribble right away instead of just shooting, and they was disrespecting me by not guarding me. So. Yeah, so when I made that shot, he was just saying, feel me, just shoot the ball, do you, be you. So that's all that was.
Seth, were you surprised by the carry call when it came, and what's your reaction to that? I know it's a difficult thing for a player to address, but it seemed like an important moment of the game.
Yeah, it was definitely an important moment of the game. Down the stretch, it was what it was. Next play mentality. They called a carry on me. Go back, get it back on defense. So that's all that is to it.
Is there anything that you guys can do for Keba, just with some of his confidence? It looks like his body language sometimes might not be the best.
Yeah, I think that's on me a little bit too, because I get on him sometimes because I just want him to, I see how good he can be, and I see what he does in practice. So I just want him to kind of bring that energy into the games. But, he's a freshman. So the longer the season goes, the more confident he's going to get. We're going to keep going at him. We're going to keep giving him the ball. And, we feel like Keba's going to be really big for us down the stretch.
This is for either of you. Miles looks like he's like the second coach on the team on the bench sometimes. What does that say to his character, and what does he look like during practice? How does he vocalize that?
Yeah, that's Miles' draft for you though. That's always who he been. Being our sixth man and stuff like that. He know that he got to be the loudest on the bench no matter what, just support his guys. He probably the happiest sixth man too in the country. So it's just one of those situations where it's not like he pout and put his head down because he's not starting, but he take full pride in that. He know he's still a captain on this team. A lot of guys listen to him and stuff like that. I listen to him, so it's just one of those situations where he just being a leader and just trying to help our team win.
Jalen, back to Keba. I thought it was interesting what you said about you get on him and maybe you shouldn't, or I didn't know quite what you meant. How do you get on him? And do you remember, it's been a long time since you were that young, how you felt when you were just trying to feel your way and maybe thinking too much instead of just playing with flow?
Definitely. Last year going from, John Me and John had a good connection on the floor, and John seen the game, and he played a lot of college basketball. So coming in with Kemba, I want him to kind of, see what John sees sometimes, or sneak behind the defense and different things like that. So I think that's something I got to kind of work with and give Kemba some time to understand. And me and Kemba talk all the time, so I'm gonna send him some clips later. He's gonna send me some stuff back, and that's kind of our dialogue between us two.
Maybe you think you're too harsh on him? Is that what you meant before?
No, I could answer for you. Nah, cause Kemba, like he's gonna be good for us in the future. It's just one of those situations. Like I've been a freshman before here, and I know how it be where you go in the game and you might do something that coach don't like or something like that, and like you got all 15 players saying something negative and stuff like that. So it's just one of those situations where like everybody just saying something negative instead of like we just as a team just had to do a better job at picking him up, and
I think that.
You see him kind of.
yeah, like he be
I think
yeah,
that's
he
more
be
what it
pounding
is.
on his stuff a lot.
Like when
But,
people get on, I don't want to add on to it. I should probably build them up a little bit more.
yeah.
So that's Seth Lundy and Jalen Pickett talking to the media after the game. Head coach Micah Shrewsbury coming up here in just a moment. Michigan State 67, Penn State 58, the final. Penn State led by as many as 10 in the first half, had a strong start to the game, but then on the seesaw from the middle chunks of the game, Michigan State at the end pulls away 67-58, the final score here at the Bryce Jordan Center. Penn State will be back in action on Saturday against a very good Illinois team on the road, and that's a noon start. But head coach Micah Shrewsbury will meet with the media next year as you're watching live coverage of the Penn State men's basketball postgame show as the head coach makes his way to the podium. We'll listen into head coach Micah Shrewsbury as Penn State opens up here. The Big Ten opener, 67-58, Michigan State, the final score tonight.
Kind of two things I want to do first is just congratulate Michigan State. Like that's, they're it's unbelievable that like people have like counted them out for dead. And it's 10 games into the season, right? There's a reason like that coach is in the Hall of Fame. There's a reason why they have really good players. There's a reason why they were in the top 25 just last week. Right? There's a reason why they beat Kentucky. There's a reason why they had a chance to beat Gonzaga. Like, they're a good team. They're a good team. They're also prideful, and that program's prideful. And they weren't going to come in here and just lay down. Like, they had lost 2 straight games. So, we need to play better. We need to play better. Also appreciate our fans. I said stuff this week, trying to get them there. Trying to get them here, and they showed up. Right, we had a bunch of people showed up, a bunch of students showed up, and I appreciate that. Like, don't leave us now. Like, stick with us. Like, this is, I'm as frustrated as it gets. I'm as mad and as competitive as it gets. We're gonna fix our problems. We're gonna fix our issues, and we're gonna have a chance in every single game we play. But I appreciate everybody that showed up tonight. I called for it, and they arrived. So maybe I should shut up and coach my team better.
Micah, were you watching the Northwestern Michigan State game, and were you sad to see Northwestern win because you know what could happen?
You know what? It's you could probably, I don't know if there's a way to track this, but it felt like every game last year, right before we played somebody that got beat, it was like clockwork that it happened. And I tried. Like, I knew what was coming through this door.
Yeah, especially with Izzo is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know
he's
what
so
I mean?
prideful.
Yeah.
I knew what was coming through this door, and I tried to heed that warning to our guys. And that, maybe part of that is why we didn't shoot so well. Maybe we put so much pressure on ourselves to win this that we're squeezing the ball too tight because we're getting open looks, we're getting open shots. But maybe I put too much pressure on our guys, and that's something that I should probably be better at. Of like, we got to be on the edge, but we also got to be loose, and we also got to play free. And it didn't feel like that for us.
Did you do that because it was Michigan State?
No, really just anybody. Like the Big Ten starting.
Yep.
No matter who was coming in here, right? We were going from like boiling water to a frying pan. It was getting hot, and the temperature was getting turned up with who's coming in here. We get one chance at Michigan State, one crack at them. Right? Like this was a big game for us, and we wanted to play well for our fans. We wanted to play well at home. We wanted to prove ourselves, and maybe it was too much because we didn't respond the whole time. I thought we started out well, and then we kind of backtracked too much.
Micah, with a minute 50 to go, there was a moment where you shook hands with Tom. There was an interaction there. He told us about it, but that was like unique. How did that unfold? And if you can, what were you guys talking about?
Yeah, no, that was me and Hogard going after it. Like that, I'm a competitor. I know he is too, right? So like we're yelling at each other on the sidelines. But I love it. That's why I went to him right after that. I yelled at him out of the timeout. Hey, love it. Love that kid, man. I love how he competes, right? So Coach Izzo was like, he was apologizing to me because he had said something to me, and I told him, no, like, we're just competing, right? That's it. Like, you have, I got so much respect for the guys in this league and how they go about their business. Like, I know how good that kid is. I know how he's a fighter. That's who he is. So I've loved competing against him, right? I've had a chance to go against him now for a bunch of years in a row. That's all that was. Like, I got so much respect for Coach and his program. But I got a lot of respect for that kid, too. But, we're just competing. It's just guys out there competing against each other. It's all good. But, like, that's kind of the respect I got for Coach Izzo and his program and everything else. He's apologizing to me. I'm like, oh, man. He's like, we're all out here competing. This is fun. That was fun, man. It's fun. It's fun out here to play against people. It's fun out here to try and figure out how to get stops. It's fun out here to try and figure out how to score. I love that part of the game, man. I wasn't a very good player, but I was a player at one point in time. And sometimes that player comes out.
Micah, over here, sorry. Just going back to A.J. Hogard a little bit, and I mean, for him, when he gets downhill like that on people, how much of a problem can he be when he's in the paint like that?
Yeah, I mean, he puts pressure on you. You got to have a bigger guard that can stay with him and can stay in front of him. But then, when Tyson Walken gets going as well at the same time, you got to have two good guards that can guard pick and rolls, right? Like, can't keep flipping one guy off him, one guy off. He has a chance to attack. He's so physical. He can get into the lane and kind of keep you on his hip or on his back, or he can drive, and big guys don't bother him, right? Like, we're not very big, but he does it against everybody. Right? He did it against Alabama. He did it against whoever. Like, he goes and he drives and he attacks big guys and he scores it. Like, that's what he does. So, I thought he just, like, when they get down in games, when they get down at certain points, he tries to will them back. That's who he is. That's who he is as a player. And, like, guy makes huge plays for him, and yeah, he's hard to stop. Like, you gotta figure some stuff out when he's tacking downhill with full speed like that.
Micah, late in the game, there was the carry call on Seth, and then right after the no call on Jalen. What are your thoughts on those calls and non-calls, and how important do you think that sequence was in the grand scheme of the game?
Yeah, it is what it is. Like, I got to go back and watch it. Like, when the game's going on, I think I'm a ref, right? And then, sometimes I miss a lot of things when I go back and watch. I want to go see it. That was a huge possession for us. Like, we needed something out of that. So, it was a big call, but, I'll see it, see what happens, and go from there. Like, I don't know. We got good officials in this league, and we got to the free throw line more than we've gotten to the free throw line all season. It feels like we didn't convert. We need to convert better when we do get the opportunities to get there. But just both teams competing. I'd like to look at it and see like what it was. Yeah, because it was a huge call. In that point in the game, we had gotten a few stops in a row. Now you get that stop and you get a bucket, and it just changes changes like the game, the flow of the game, and what's going on.
Micah, Izzo was in here obviously earlier, and he was talking about how they were looking to limit Jalen. From your perspective, what did they do successfully in that? And I mean, that's of course relative. He still had 13. And then regarding the threes as well, what the percentage was a little bit lower than normal, so kind of break down that for me. Thanks.
Yeah, they did a good job of like keeping a bigger body on him, pushing him out. They guarded us. They tried to get under a bunch of ball screens. We got to do a better job of setting them at a better angle so they can't. The few times we did, then they got messed up on the switch. Now he turned the corner the one time and scored. He turned the corner and got a switch, and like he got to the basket the way he wanted to. But he also, like, I mean, you look at it, like he went 5 for 14. Like, I mean, he's backing guys like to the concession stand. He's got to make them, right? It's make or miss game. Joey Hauser does the same thing. He makes his. You got to make them on the other end. I love Pick. Like, you know, dude got 17 rebounds tonight, had 8 assists. Like, he's doing a lot for us. And, like, he's probably pissed. He's probably mad at some of the opportunities that he had there near the basket that some that he normally makes, he just missed it. You know, and that's sometimes that's the game. Sometimes that's the game when you're getting the ball in the paint. You got to convert like that. I still like the threes that we took. There's a couple like that we took that were rushed, that were quick, that I'd love to have back. You know, I didn't think we played particularly good offensively. We didn't move it the way we needed to. We didn't do what we were practicing either. All right, we're going to watch that tomorrow. We're going to learn from it. They're a good defensive team, and I thought they took some stuff away. But there's some, I mean, Pickett, he had a layup, he passes up and kicks it out to Miles. Like, that's a wide open three, right? He's in the middle of the paint, and they double, and he kicks it to Cam Winter at the top of – that's a wide open three. Like, I don't know what more you want. You're trying to run offense to get layups, to get open threes. We're getting wide open threes. We just didn't convert them. You know, you got to live with it. You got to live with it. There's some I'd like to have back, but, you know, I'd probably take those same shots from those same guys.
What's the balance for you of trying to get Funk going, you know, just forcing it to him versus just the flow of the game?
Yeah, he's done a good job of trying to get him in transition as well, which I think, you know, kind of gets him going a little bit. Like, we ran a play to start the game, shot off the side of the backboard, right? Like, maybe that affected him a little bit, where he was a little bit off, like, after that. So maybe that, don't run that play again, Coach Shrews. But, you know, you want to get him moving. You want to have him doing stuff. You know, people are still worried about him. Like, he went 1 for 4, 0 for 3 from 3, and, like, you still got to guard him. You still got to be out there. You still got to worry about how you're guarding him, which takes the focus, puts focus on him, and it takes away from other guys. You know, I think that's where you got to get some more of those, some of the shots at the rims. And, like, maybe some of our big guys got to convert more at the rim because people are outside worried about Funk. They're getting the ball at the rim. We got to turn those into buckets, right? That Funk's never going to get credit for that, but that, you know, it's a hockey assist, even though he never touched the ball. He's just lifting. People are worried about him. Guys are getting behind him, getting to the rim and getting layups. We just got to score. We got to take advantage of that, and we got to get points out of that. And that's sometimes that's the difference between winning and losing. So we'll keep doing it. Like, he'll be better. He'll be better for us, and you know, we got to get better defensively. We got to be better as a team. We got to be tougher. We got to be more gritty. You know, or, you know, this situation is going to happen a lot.
I'm wondering what you make of their roster this year, and as you were scouting them, and you saw different games, and they've gone through a few different lineups and different things. Just sort of what you see from a team that's still figuring itself out, but probably has some versatility and weapons there.
I think they will. The more versatility, like when they get Malik Hall back now, they're able to play smaller in different ways, right? Like today, when they go small, they just have to play, I don't know how to say it, Whitens or Wittens. Like, they have to play him more as the 4. Like, you know, those are minutes where Malik Hall's in, right? And now you're worried about they're running floppy with Tyson Walker coming off, and now you got to worry about the post up on both sides from those guys. I think Sissoko, I think the fouls kind of took him out of it a little bit in the first half. He didn't really get into a rhythm, but he's played a lot better now. Like the more guys that they have, I think Jay Nakins gets more comfortable. Like, he stepped up and made those shots tonight. Like, that's who he is. He's not the guy that was whatever, 0 for on the season since he's been back. Like, he's a much better shooter than that. He's more athletic. He's a guy that they'll start to play faster, I think, and get down the court. They got us a couple times in transition when we didn't get back and match up the right way. So they're tough. They're gritty. They know who they are. They know who they are. They know who they're going to. I think that's when you look at the best teams, like when the game was on the line, they went to Hauser, they went to Walker, they went to Hogard. Everybody else played off of that, right? Like you watch Purdue play, they go Zach. Everybody plays off of that. Like you watch Indiana, they go to Trace, and everybody plays off of that. Like that's what the best teams do. That's what the best teams do. And now, they got multiple guys that can do that. They're a good team. They're a good team. They're going to be they're going to be fine.
Micah, Jalen and Seth were in here, and they both seem very cognizant of what Keba is going through as a kid with a high upside who gets frustrated at times. How important is it for them to be able to help him along in that, and does that allow you to be maybe bad cop a little bit and them good cop?
Yeah, I think so. I don't. I'm probably bad cop with everybody. If you would ask him, right? I probably need to be good cop more with him, just to try and help him, right? You want to it's hard, man. It's a hard league for a freshman to come in and play in that position, but he's talented enough. He's good enough. He's got to believe in himself. He's got to believe in himself. He's got to believe in the things that have gotten him here. And when he makes mistakes, he's got to play through them. And they all do. Caleb's the same way. Like when he makes a mistake, play through it, and don't get down on yourself because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen to every single person. And the more that we can get from him as the year goes on and on, the better we'll be. And he's learning. He's learning on the fly. It's trial by fire, man. It'd be like, some 18-year-old kid was named the CEO of some company and he never done it before, and he's got to figure out what he's supposed to be doing, all while running this thing without it going under. That kid is 18 years old, turned 18 at the end of August. Like math, I always talk about my math, but that's September, October, November. It's early December. He's 18 years and 4 months. I was 18 years and 4 months. I want to know what I was doing. It wasn't positive. Thank you, guys.
So that's head coach Micah Shrewsbury as you take a look at the 2022-2023 Penn State men's basketball schedule. As we said, an opportunity, the great thing in this league, you play a tough team to open up the slate here in the Big Ten home opener. A tough matchup coming up on Saturday against Illinois, and another opportunity for Penn State as the final score tonight, Michigan State 67, Penn State 58. We appreciate everyone joining us here on our live post-game coverage on the Penn State men's basketball post-game show exclusively here from the Bryce Jordan Center. And again, the final score, Michigan State 67, Penn State 58. So Penn State, as we take a look at that schedule one more time, coming up next, Illinois, as you play these 2 Big Ten games in December, then back into non-conference game, and 4 straight opportunities, 3 non-conference games, and then the Big Ten returns back to the Jordan Center on New Year's Day. 4 opportunities at home to see Penn State here at the BJC in front of what was a great crowd tonight. Penn State falls by a 67-58 final score. Thanks for tuning in to the Penn State men's basketball postgame show.